So this one around, I started actually building the foundation for another building in my town, and I'll show you guys a little bit later about that. It's going to be a building that specializes with plants. So I know that sounds lame, but it's going to have all types of flowers, all types of cactuses. It's going to have like cactuses there. Cacti. It's going to have cacti, different types of trees. Basically anything and everything that revolves around plants, it's going to have. So that brings me to this next thing, is that I don't have anything from this type of tree. Heck, I don't even remember what it's called until I chop one part of it down. Let's see. What does that say? I can't even print. I don't want to botch it, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. But I don't have anything from this type of tree. The other issue is I also don't know what kind of wood to use for this next building, because, like I said, it's all trees or nature-based. So I thought about using these, but now coming to think about it, gray and orange is a really weird combination. So I may end up using, like, I don't know, a jungle tree or something. But that's the other thing. I need to figure out what tree I'm going to be using for the lumber, and not to mention I also need to be bringing in more different types of resources to sell in that shop. So it's gonna be really cool looking. I actually have an idea to have a tree, because most of my buildings all my buildings are 3 stories, and with the bakery, you know, I made it have a really tall ceiling, which was kind of cool. So that got me thinking, you know, do I really need a 3rd floor for any of my buildings, or a 2nd floor for that matter? What if I just made the whole thing 1 floor? And that got me thinking, you know, what if I could plant a tree inside one of the buildings? Because they're so tall already, you know, a tall tree in the middle of it will look really cool. So that got me thinking about making a building that sells plants. And now that brings me to this point where the inside of the building is going to also have a waterfall. So it's going to be really cool. Once I get this thing started, once I get it finished, you know, it's going to be probably my favorite building of all. Just the way it looks inside. The bakery is starting to turn out one of my favorites. Bakery, so far, I love all of my buildings. You know, I love them because they're all each unique in their own way, which makes them really interesting, because, you know, if anyone's playing this in this city or this world, they're going to see how different all the buildings are, and it's going to be really, you know, a lot of people have, you know, different opinions on all of them. So I have not gotten any of these yet. Do they just not appear? Did I get one? Yeah, I got one. Okay, cool. But I'm not going to just leave with 1. I'm going to leave with, like, maybe 5 or so. At least. Because I don't want to leave with just 1. There we go. I think I got 2. Yeah, 2. That's it. Only 2. Dang. This thing is not dropping stuff. I also feel like it depends on what material you're using to hit the leaves. Like, there are some times where I would switch to, like, a stick, and the stick will get more of the saplings out for some reason. Like, let's go back to cobblestone. See if I get more of it at all. 3. And there's a baby crying outside. I hear mom and dad, you know, arguing like, "Look at that little guy that's screaming." That's the one thing I hate about Disney is, you know, the parents are always like, "Oh my gosh, look at my child. She's just screaming and just like breaking stuff. It's so cute." You know, like that kind of like attitude. I hate that so much. So, my goodness, that poor child. There's another one, and oh, look at that. There's another one. 5. I've reached my limit. So I've just wasted 4 minutes of your life. So let's go to, the nearest jungle is super far away. You know what? Let's go a little bit this way. Let's get a few more of these things, some more of these bad boys, because oh, luckily I put it on peaceful, so no dying in this video, at least not this time. Not planning on dying. So if I get any more, oh, look at that. There's a village. So you know what? Let me switch it to day then, because then you don't have to watch me play in complete blackness. Yeah, so like I said, this whole nature this is like a whole nature trip, you know, try to get some cool ones. I'm trying to figure out what tree to put in the middle of the whole thing. I'm thinking about an oak tree, but I've also been thinking about making my own custom tree. Whatever the really big thick trees, those Oh, this is a very small village. I remember this one. This is all that's there. Yeah, just this dude. Oh, poor dude. You're all by yourself. Let's see, is there anyone in here? Oh, there's two. There's two peoples. If I could get in here. Oh, there's three peoples. Cool. You guys have a whole, yeah. These trees. These really thick ones. I was thinking about using those because I thought about using the branches as like, suspending some glowstone from the branches, kind of like I feel like a giant rainforest cafe sort of vibe to it. You know, you walk in, there's a tree, there's like lights coming dangling from the tops of it, tops of the branches. So I thought that would be kind of cool to have in the middle of the whole store, because then the whole store would be lit up, of course, because that's the thing. Like I have all my stores, they have torches going on in them, which is fine, but I mean, I feel like, you know, it looks so old inside, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like the new revitalized, you know, sort of feel. So you know what? I am going to, when my camera switches out and in a few seconds, I'm going to switch it to day manually. So don't worry, you guys won't miss anything. So like I said, I waited until the sun's rising up. So let's continue with our quest and get some more of these trees. Now, like I said, I'll be using probably one of these because I like the idea of the glowstone just hanging down from it. So let's get some more of these guys. And I will have to make another video about, you know, going to, what's it called? The jungle. I'm going to have to go to the jungle sometime. Whoa, giant mushroom. That scared me for a second. I'm like, is that a UFO in Minecraft? What? But yeah, so let's get some more of these guys. I'm still not sure how much I'm gonna like it. Let's test this out. You know what? Let's give it a chance. Let's see how it looks. Actually, I'm gonna need. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna need that. Oh my gosh, everything is just disorganized now. You know, I don't hate the orange. I actually kind of like it. But I don't like this next to it. Well, it might grow on me, actually. I'm in a window right here. Let me see what it looked like if I like... Whoop, what the heck happened there? How'd that happen? Let me just pretend there's like a window here. You know what? I can actually live with that. I can live with that, actually. I actually kind of like it. It looks... The gray makes it look old, you know what I mean? Like, it gives it that kind of oldish feel to it. That older, like, it's been here for a long time. The other thing is, all my buildings, I don't know if you noticed, all of them have a cobblestone layer at the bottom of each one of them. A number of reasons why I did that, and the main one, I actually drew inspiration from old buildings during the Revolutionary War. If you're not from the United States, United States Revolutionary War back in 1776, I looked at some old pictures, I looked at some old buildings, and I was just actually inspired by the way, you know, they have like a layer of bricks at the bottom of their buildings, and the cobblestone, you know, I asked myself, why do they do that? And it turns out they do that because, is there a tree meshed into this? Huh, wait a minute, because those, no, I don't know, that's really weird looking. But during Revolutionary War, of course, they had those buildings that looked really old-timey. And so they added a layer of brick at the bottom. I guess in case of flooding or anything like that, they had, you know, a way to keep the water out, because they had like this brick bottom to it. And I just used like 15 of those things just for this one little stack. But they used it for all the buildings, and I just loved the way it looked. You know, it gave all the buildings like some volume. It gave them, you know, like a layer of something. And it wasn't just all one type of brick. It wasn't all just a stone. You know, they gave it kind of like, you know, something to look at, because it's like, you know, for humans, you know, you look at shoes, and the shoes are usually like different colors of what the shirts are. You know, not to compliment it, but to kind of like, you know, clash against it in a good way. And so I guess the bottom layer is like the shoes for buildings. As crazy as that may sound, you know, I like the way it looks. So I decided to do that cobblestone layer for all my buildings. I'm more welcome to take the idea as well, because I'm not the one who invented it. So there's that. and I have 10 of these. I don't know whether I should plant more or not right now, but you know what? We only got a minute left of the video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to get some more of this, and then I will call it a quit. And the next time we will see the building that I am constructing, the plant building, because it's really neat. It's really cool. I really wish these mushrooms would give you something. You know, I really wish. There we go. Here's a good one. I really wish the mushrooms can. You know, you could get like these trees. You get like the trees to plant. You get like mushrooms to plant. You know, I really wish. You know, Mojang really jumped on that idea. So. Maybe one day we'll get an update with that. But until then, you know, I'm not going to chop down any of my mushroom trees because they just look so cool. They're unique. You can't, once you destroy a mushroom tree, you can't get it back. So I'm going to just keep it the way they are. There's actually one, I don't know if you've seen, it's actually right next to my town. That one, I am debating whether to keep it or not because it's such a different elevation than the rest of my town. And I'm not sure how that will affect the overall design of my town to begin with, so I'm keeping it there. There's like a little island off the east side of my town. You'll see it in another video. I may even point it out to you next one, but you'll see it. It's there, and we're not sure whether to keep it or not, but if it does create a problem, I will have to get rid of it, unfortunately. So a lot of ranting in this video, a lot of tree chopping. I got a lot of these new trees, so, and obviously we got a glimpse at what, you know, we're going to oh my gosh, why does it keep doing that? A glimpse of what we're going to be using for the building itself. So I like the way it looks now that I look at it. You know, I like the gray and the orange. It's not as bad as I thought it was. So we're just gonna, we'll make it work. We'll make it work because it's something different, something unique. That's what's gonna make the building stand out. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.